Okay, welcome guys to Blender 4.4. We're working on a conservatory today. Yeah, we're going to be working in cycles. So if you guys haven't already, change your render engine to cycles. Can be found in the little tab right here. So the conservatory that we're making is going to have a little bit of brickwork to it. Going to have a little bit of tiling to it. Personally, I've tried this out. And I kind of want to make my own bricks for it. I just think it would look better because the look that I'm looking for is kind of this rustic look. So usually I would ask you to go onto the nodes section and I'd be saying like, okay, let's go use shading tab. But today I don't really want to do that. I want to use shading on some of it, but not all of it, you know. So we're going to start with the ledges that are on the bottom of the conservatory right here. So the ledges are just kind of like these really thin little blocks that we can take to the back. So it's just basically primarily going to be block work mostly for this. So we're going to go Shift D, just duplicate this across. So this is going to be the length of the corridor. We can make these ones a little bit bigger afterwards. So the next thing we want to do is just make some, let's see, we'll do the windows, I think, just for this side. So you just want to take this one, we're going to scale it down a little bit, rotate it 90 degrees, just press 90. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of make some little, pillars for the windows. So we can see what's going on, because what I want to do is I want to make some tiles as well. So just have this handy at the side, and then we're going to go to this object right here, Shift D. I'm just going to go ahead and scale it down. So this is going to be the tiling that's on the side actually. Just a nice little slab. Press G, bring it over. So what you want to do with this one is you can have it any length that you want. I'm just going to go and do this little kind of box kind of look right here. So what I want to do is go into the modifiers. We'll go to add modifier and we'll go to bevel. Just going to bevel the edges out right there. Let me see. So we want to go shade smooth as well for this one. So, for this one in particular, if we go to the Materials tab, we can go with a light grey for this one. And we're just going to name it, let's go Slate. We can edit this later on. Press G, bring it over, right to the edge, and then we're going to go Shift D. And then we're just going to place these just along the window ledge right here. Don't have to be perfect, you can adjust them later if they're not. But almost like it looks like it's been kind of crafted by someone who might not have had measuring tools, I guess. You could put it like that. Kind of gives it some character as well, like it's been homemade. I'm just going to go ahead and just pull this back. Actually, no, I can put a pillar there actually. So we've got this side, and also we need to do this side as well. So what I'm going to do is start building the windows on this side, and then we can transfer them onto this side. So it's pretty easy. Just press G, just bring this over. If you don't know where you're going with this, we can split the screen so I can show you guys. So if you press 7, it'll take you up to the top view. Just take this right here. Just going to scale it up just slightly. Just going to press G, place it down. So what you're going to want, with Windows, you're going to want a little bit of a lip as well. So we'll put that lip in one moment. So we'll place this one just here. And then I'm going to go Shift D. Press 10 on your number pad. And then we will go with, let me see. So if we take these two and we just place them at the end, almost. Shift D, and then we can go -20. So this will give us the exact same width even on each one. We take this one right here. I'm just going to go ahead and make this a 5, so it goes straight into the center. And then from here, let me see, I'm going to go with I think 2.5. Maybe just in the middle right here. So what I'm going to do, take this, I'm just going to thin this, Shift D, leave it where it is, and then rotate by 90. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just pull this in just a little bit. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make a little bit of a window. So we're just going to go D again, and maybe we could do 1, Shift D, and we could do 1, and just Shift D, 1, until we get up to the ceiling, which should be just about here. So don't worry about these intersecting vertices just at the moment. We can change that. So take these 3, and I believe we should be going -3 just to fill that gap. And if you want to, you can go -1 just right there. So as well as this, we can also make a lip up on the bottom here. So we're just going to go Shift D with this one, bring it down. And we're just going to go ahead and scale this up just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and scale it to the side just a little bit. And then scale it all across. So now we have this little lip going on. So now where you see the edges right here, we can actually move these at a later date kind of thing. So these little intersecting vertices that are going on with the window right here, we don't really want them. They're a little bit ugly. So we're just going to select every single one of these slats that we put on and just scale it inwards so that you have that little ridge just up at the side right here, so it looks a little bit neater. So don't put your window in straight away. I'll show you what we're going to do. You can actually edit these a little bit and make some more details, I guess, but I'm just going to have mine straight across. The next part I think we should do is maybe put some of these slats just going across some of the other vertices as well. So I do believe, yes, we've got this as well. I'm just going to elongate this one just slightly so that we can incorporate this last pillar in the back. And I'm also going to take this Shift D. I'm just going to duplicate it. So we kind of got this thick kind of support going on just at the back right here. Okay, so when we do the window, we're going to go to Add, and then we'll do Plane. Rotate this on 90 degrees. Press G, just move it into position wherever you need it, and then we're going to press S to scale. Press S just to scale this down a little bit. G. To get onto each axis, you just need to hold in the center scroll button just as so. So we're just going to put this across just here. Press G, just move it across, scale outwards. Okay, so you'll notice that the plane is now sitting directly between all of these slats that we've just made. So what we need to do is, if we go to the materials tab just here at the bottom and we press new, this one will be glass. So we just press this glass. And what we want to do, change it from principal BSDF to glass. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either go to glass BSDF, or you can make your own kind of glass within principal BSDF. So let me just give you an example here. So if we go to the render tab right here, so we can see that we can't see through this. I think the best thing for me to do is to add a cube, and I'm just going to make this green. There we go. And then make sure that's visible on the other side. So press G. Right, I'm just going to scale that up. So then I'm going to put another cube here as well. I'm just going to show you how this works. So, if my computer allows me to, here we go. So this one I'm going to put as pink. So, when you do glass, click onto the properties just here. And if you're on Principled BSDF, turn up your metallic, turn down your roughness, and you should see that it's almost like a mirror. So now we can see the purple block here, but we can't see the green block. We want to be able to see the green block. So what you can do is just tone down your alpha, and boom, here's your green block, right? So you've got this nice little reflection going on. You've got your green block. Now the alternative to this is we can go into glass BSDF, and it kind of gives the same kind of impression. I mean, you can mess around with the IOR if you wanted to, and you can kind of get this kind of weird kind of fade coming in and out. But to be honest with you, I kind of like to do this manually with Principled BSDF. I mean, even if you turn up the roughness, you know, it doesn't look good. I get that they tried to make glass BSDF, and yeah, they tried to make something, but to be honest with you, I do like doing it by myself kind of thing, and doing it manually. So I'm gonna go there. I can't get my words out today. I'm gonna go out and put down the Principled BSDF for this project. Obviously turn up my metallic. Oops. Turn up my metallic right there, and then just pull the alpha back a little bit. I kind of primarily like this one, and if you add a roughness texture within the nodes section, within the shader, it just looks a lot better, I think. You know, maybe some people out there will be like, no, I like the glass BSDF, but, you know, I think that all of us kind of do projects in different ways, you know. Such as I'm doing my bricks in different ways today than I usually do. So it depends what works for you. You know what I mean? So now we've got the glass going on here. Let's go back to regular render. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these cubes because we've already done our glass. I believe it's the only reflective thing that we've got in this project. Yeah, I think so. So we're going to take this right here, Shift-D, bring it up, G across. So this is going to be the pillar on top of the glass, on top of the frames. So we're just going to go place this on, scale it down just a little bit. You can add some detail to this if you'd like, maybe pull some of the vertices out a little bit. Let's just scale this upwards just a little bit. Press G, bring it across. So with this one in particular, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to take this face right on the front right here, and I'm going to go E-fret extrude, keep it where it is, scale it inwards downwards, so you've got this nice little groove going on, and then we're going to go E-fret extrude and just bring it outwards a little bit, and then E-fret extrude, and then just round it off just at the sides, just a little bit, so it's got that little bit of a ledge. So on the next bits to this, I'm going to go back to object mode. We're going to go to, let's see, we'll go with, I'm trying to copy this little pattern that we've got going on right here. Thinking. You can see the buffer. I'm just going to go ahead and select all of this. Let's go with this. We'll go Shift-D. Whoops. Now it should be -20 if I've got this right. No, okay, we're going to go with 15. Maybe we go 15. Yeah, 15 works. Okay, so we've now got the secondary window right here. So we've got two massive windows. We've got the secondary window right here. I'm going to take this one and this one. I'm just going to press G, bring them across, scale outwards, and then these have got two little planes that are going on just in the middle. I'm going to take these again, and just to copy this pattern over, we're just going to put this right here, and take this, and I believe it was 10. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, we're going 5. Hold on, what did I do? Press 5, yeah. Okay, so we have this nice little slat going on in the middle. We've got these nice little windows on either side. This kind of pattern going on, and of course, yeah, these need to be placed back there because for some reason it's not duplicated them. So I'm just going to go ahead, press 1. No, -1. Okay, -1, and then this one we're going to duplicate, and then we're going to go -1 on this. I put it on the wrong axis. Let's start again. Duplicate, going -1. There we go. We're in the right place again. Right, so when we take this, we now have a nice little wall. I'm going to go ahead and add a plane. We're going to go and place that just at the bottom right there. Just scale it outwards and then scale it across. G, let's bring that across as well. It doesn't have to be perfect at this stage, but you might want to neaten it up just a little bit. So I'm just going to press 7. Let me scale this in. So it's just there. And scale this in from the top and the bottom as well. Press G, bring it over. Okay, so we have this lovely looking kind of corridor, little bit that's going on right here. This is what it currently looks like. We can change all of these materials afterwards if you'd like to. I think we just need to improve on a few things because the window ledge that we have, the little seal for the window, isn't quite where it needs to be. So I'm just going to stretch that out, just correct a few things if you've got the same issue. I like to place things and then see where they fit before moving on. So then we've got these little tiles right here. Just place these up at the side. You take this pillar right here, Shift D, move that across. Now we can do a little bit of cheating here if you're willing. We can take all of this and place it on the other side. That's literally it. Yeah, so if you go into side view, press 1 on the number pad and take all of this, and we go Shift D, stick it on the other side, and we go R for rotates and go 180 and just turn it around. Just make sure these line up beautifully. So if you press 7, you'll be able to see the grid. And we just want it to be just on the edge, as so. So whilst they are exact copies of one another, they do have a little bit of difference in where everything is. So it's just a real quick way of making scenery, really. We can take the floor as well, Shift D, and we can place it to make a roof. But within this project, we don't want a flat roof, we want a V-shaped roof. So we're going to get rid of that. So to make your V-shaped roof, kind of very similar to what you've just done with the windows. So we'll take a cube and we'll build this on the flat plane to begin with, and then we'll angle it. So might take a little bit of work on this one as well. So I'm just going to go scale outwards. You want to make it roughly the same size as the roof here. So let me think here. I'm just going to go ahead and press G. Just bring this down to where it needs to be. I'm just going to go scale it down. Press 7. So you're just getting your scales in just here. So I'm just going to scale this down until it reaches the point where it's roughly the same kind of size as the wall. I'm just going to scale it up a little bit as well, just to thin it out a little bit. So now we're going to go with Shift D, move this across, and then we're going to go Shift D again, rotate this one by 90, oops, rotate by 90, scale this in just at the side. You can scale this down. You can scale this downwards as well. Press G, bring this across. S in the middle. Right, so now we're gonna go with, I think we'll go 15. 15. 15 might look good. No, okay. Maybe a 10. I'm gonna go with a 5 actually. Yeah, 5 works great. Okay, so Shift D, bring it up, press 5, Shift D, bring it up, press 5. Make sure that you're working on the exact same axis. So you've got this part right now where you're going +5 all the way up. So if you take this one, you press Shift D to duplicate, you want to go -5. So anything below your object is -5 automatically because of the way that the grid works. So now we've got this little gap at the end. That's fine. We can go ahead and take one of these, or we could scale this out, or we could bring it down. I think I'm going to go with scaling this out actually. So just go like this, bring it up to the end so that it matches on the other side. We will also go with scale. Bring that up to the end. So we've got kind of that little barrier, that little bit. If we had a plane, press J, bring this into the center, scale it outwards. Oops. Scale outwards and then scale upwards. So this will be the glass. So if we go down to this drop down menu right here, we've already got glass made. So we're going to put this principle into practice right here. If we go to the shaded tab, we can now see that this is all glass. Again, we can change the properties on this particular object in the materials tab, but we'll do that later. So if we come back down, we now have a part roof. So what we're going to want to do with this is angle it. So if we rotate and say we maybe 40, I don't know. Play around with it. Make sure that you've got the exact same angle. It should work. And we can kind of bridge the gap a little bit with some roof at the top. So generally you want to go on either side. So the other side will be 40 as well. So I'm just going to flatten this back out again. I'm just going to go Shift D. Move that across. And then we'll select all of this. We'll rotate this by 40. Press G, move it down. So when you rotate the other side by 40, you want to go with a minus number. So I'm just going to go ahead and place that there. Let's go with 1. See how far over we are. So we have, should be just here in the middle. So I believe that's correct. So it should just be there. That looks roughly central. So if we take all of this one, and then we rotate, press R for rotate, and then we go -40. And then we press G, and then move this over. We should, in theory, have a correct roof. Just move that into that space, just there. That should roughly be correct. There's a little bit of intersection there, but that's okay, we can cover that up. But yeah, that should be your greenhouse roof. So 40-degree angle on either side, just make sure that you've got that central mark, and then you can place the two roofs, 2 parts of the roof on top of that. So the next part that we can do, once we've got all of this, is we can make the wall for the back. So now you can see that the glass is actually working in our favour, so we can actually see through the first plane of glass to the second plane of glass. Nearly said grass then. And also we have a reactive roof right here that is able to be seen through. So I think that was the back bit. Pretty sure that was the back bit. So for the end of it, we can go ahead and we could go to let's go with plane. Just for the time being, we can always extrude it. So we'll go with plane. We'll go 90. Go to the back with G. And what you want to do is just get this so that it's on the back end of your conservatory. We'll go with edit mode. Just take these sides. This is my idea of cheating. So we're going to go G, bring this to the side right here. Just click the side right here. And then we'll click the side right here to, oops, bring it up to the borderline just before the roof. We'll fix that in one moment. I press G and just bring it to the middle. So right here, we want to go with E for extrude, bring it up. And then we're going to go scale inwards from this axis. Just make sure that it fills the gap. And then what we want to do is press Control R. We'll find the midpoint right here. Control R again. And we're just going to midpoint this just to a point where we can make a doorway in the middle so that it's ideally symmetrical. So we can take these two and just press delete faces. So now we have the end of the conservatory or the greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to go ahead and place the camera just about here, I believe. Just offset it just slightly. Oops, come on. Oh my gosh. It doesn't help when you've got a mouse that's like, it has to be put in a certain place. I've got a desk that's got little ridges on it, so if I move it just slightly, it'll move something all the way across the thing. So let's go with view, align view to camera, or align camera to view, whichever you have. We can put this just here. I'm just going to press R for rotate, holding the center scroll, and then we can just pull this back a little bit. Now, don't worry about the sides, we can put some walls in here, just to kind of thin it out a little bit. So, with this piece in particular, if we just put view right here, align camera to view. Oh, sorry, wrong one. If we go to cameras, active camera on this one. Why are you not doing that? Let me see. I've lost it now. Let's see, active camera. Right, here we go. Active camera on that side. So now you'll notice if we render it, the lighting is actually coming from the inside. So whilst we want lighting on the inside, we also want lighting on the outside. We want the light pollution. So if we delete this light that's on the inside, we'll make new ones. This is a pretty big greenhouse for the doorway. You know, maybe it's like a very posh kind of conservatory greenhouse, with room for many shelves. Right, so we want a light to come in here, and preferably we want kind of a sun. So we're going to take the sun right here, and we notice that the sun, the light is pointing directly down, so we're seeing all the light coming through the windows here. We don't quite want that, so we're going to go rotate, and we're just going to go ahead and move this light across. So now you can see the lights moving. And what I'm going to do, because this seems very uniform, it seems too perfect, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to rotate this light just slightly to the side. So we've got something like this. And then if we're looking at Dawn's light, we want to go with a nice little orange. Or something of akin, just like that. So, with this, we can also go to the shading tab and we can go to the brickwork as well. I'm thinking there's something missing from here. Like, I'm missing something. I'm looking at this going like, there's something that I've missed. I can always come back to it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make some plants. Some little plants that we can dot around. So if we go to cylinder, I'm just going to take this off render for now. Press G, bring this across. Press G, bring it up. We'll go to edit mode. Just take this bottom face right here. Scale it in. going to go ether extrude, and then scale in just a little bit so it's got that little plant pot look to it. Ether extrude again, scale it inwards, ether extrude, keep it where it is, scale it inwards, and then ether extrude, just bring it down a little bit. So that's going to be your plant pot. Just right click and shade smooth. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some trees. So for trees, what you want is curve and then sampling tree generation. If you don't have this, go to preferences and go to your extensions, type in right here sampling tree generation. You see that I already have it, and then it should come up. Just click enable on the side as well. So did I add the tree? No, I did not. So let's go to the curve, sampling tree. So now you'll notice that the tree comes up in the corner right here. Don't do anything with it just yet, because this little part right here needs to be amended. Because if you don't amend this, the trees will disappear and this box will disappear. Well, the tree won't disappear, but the box will. So what you want to do, load present. You've got all these different types of trees that are already loaded into the software. So usually I go with Japanese maple. I love Japanese maples. I think they're great. So we're going to go with leaves. We click show leaves. So this leaf bit where it says -5 right here, you can see that the leaves have got 5 little points, right? So we want to if we edit that, we can get singular leaves. I'm going to go ahead with the -5. Oops. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah. So you get your -5 right there. So you can actually just play around with the settings right here. What you would like with the leaves themselves. Let's see. You can do branch splitting as well. So you can do something like this where you've got a little bit more texture to it. And I think I've just overloaded my PC because now it's not responding. That's a little bit of an over exaggeration for a tree, I think. My program's not responding. I overloaded my computer again. So I'm just gonna start again. We'll go with the basic tree. I'll just add the leaves onto it and stuff, so you guys can see what you'd like to do with it. So yeah, we've got a basic tree right here. So if you click the tree and you click the leaves, this box will disappear. Just be aware of that, so you will have to restart. But if we take the tree, press G, bring it over, and then we stick the tree in the pot, wherever you'd like to put it, really. We can then press Shift, select the pot, scale it down a little bit, and then we can press G again and place it somewhere on the floor. Gives it a little bit more depth. Also, it's great for the shadows and stuff. What you want to do is just rotate it as well, just a little bit, because you don't want this recurring pattern throughout a scene. You want things to look a little bit more realistic than they are. So even if you are duplicating this stuff, just rotate things. Take the tree itself, take the leaves, take the bark, just scale it down a little bit, scale it up. Although it is the same tree, you want to make it look different. So when we're done with this, we should have something similar to this. So now we've got all these leaves casting as well. The best thing about this as well, if you want more detail or you want a little bit more natural light, is shadow caustics. So if you click on the actual sun itself, we can see that we've got a checkbox right here for shadow caustics. If we click that, it will project the shadow caustics onto the object. Please be aware though that if we click the glass, you'll notice that there's no shadow caustics. So if we go into object, then we go shading, we've got cast shadows and receive shadows. So you want to click those two as well, and it changes really the way that the shadows are cast within the project. So if you wanted to do that for every single object, you're going to have to click every single object and enable that stuff. Personally, for me, I do a few objects but if I'm doing something that's commission work, everything is cast and receive caustic. So that's a little neat trick that I just thought that I'd show you that improves the lighting just a little bit, or at least to me it improves the lighting a little bit. Right, so let's move on to some shading, and we'll start doing some more detailed work. So we're here in the shading tab. So I'm going to start with this back wall actually. So what we want is some brickwork. So we're just going to press new. Just pull this across and we'll go to add. And then if you just type in brick, we should get brick texture. So we want to go with colour to base colour. So now we get this nice little kind of brick texture coming up. So we want to scale this downwards just a little bit. I'm going to put a little archway actually over the top of this part. So because these are black and white bricks, we want to add a little bit of colour. Also we want to add a bump node so that we can see the texture on the brick. So if we go bump, place the bump node right here, you'll notice that it doesn't do anything at first. I'm just going to zoom in so that you guys can see. If we put colour to height where we need it to be, we'll notice that the brick kind of turns this weird kind of shade of red, black and grey. So what we'll do is we'll add a colour ramp. So colour ramp is spelt with the American colour, C-O-L-O-R, rather than C-O-L-O-U-R. So we're just going to stick this into here. We're going to press plus. We're going to make this kind of like a nice shade. So what we want to do, leave that the way that it is, and we're going to put some noise texture on here as well. Might need a little bit of editing just to bring this out a little bit, because the brick is a little bit darker than I would like it to be. So where were we going? Noise. So noise texture. We can put the noise texture onto colour 1 right here. Just scale this up just a little bit. And you'll notice that it's all kind of getting a little bit brighter because we've now got a surface where the light is hitting the bricks themselves, and it's hitting the how do I put it? It's hitting the bumps, so to speak. It's the brick originally was flat, so there was no light getting to it. Now it's got bumps, it's now catching some of the light. So we could leave the brickwork like that. We could have these little biases right here. So the bias is actually at the bottom, just here. You can turn this up a little bit, or you can turn it down. You know, maybe this building's been through some blast sanding, or what do you call them, pressure washers. Maybe it's been washed, or maybe you could offset some of these bricks right here. Maybe someone's been smoking in there, or maybe this is a wall from I don't know, from a factory or something. You know, stuff sticking to it. Especially if it's a greenhouse, or it's a room that people use a lot. There's going to be a lot of dirt on there, people touching it and stuff. So it's great to have that little offset bias. So from this point, we can make this a little bit lighter if you wanted to, just by pulling this across. Also, this floor, we could do this as tiles. So with tiles, you do the exact same thing as you do with the brickwork. So you take the brick. Oh, sorry, I've typed this into the wrong bit. Brick tech. No. I wanted brick. Wait a minute, this is me. Right, colour to base colour. Now we've got this nice little tile going on. We got there eventually. I'm just going to turn this up a little bit. So you notice that all these bricks are kind of off centre. They're in the centre of each other. So if you take the offset right here and you just put it down, you can now get some nice little neat tiles. So if you guys have ever seen the bathroom projects that I did, you'll know that I put the tiles as individual blocks because I didn't use the shading tabs. primarily because I just didn't think it looked nice. But with this one, when it's a greenhouse and you're looking more at the plants, I guess the floor to a point, yes, okay, I understand that the floor has to have detail, but at the same time, people aren't really concentrating on the floor, I don't think. So, we can go with bump node again. So we put the bump right here, we go colour to height. Notice that it changes a weird shade of blue. And then we're going to go with colour ramp. Place this in the middle. And now, if you can see this, we have these nice little tiles going on. So we can pull up the black a little bit, we can make them darker, we can make them lighter with the white pulled up. And also we can put some texture on there as well. So if we go to add, and we go to noise texture, and we can put this colour to colour 1. You could also do noise texture for colour 2 and for the mortar if you wanted to, but to be honest with you, you can't really see the mortar on this one, so I'm just going to leave it as is. You can make these little patterns going across. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reduce the strength on the bump just a little bit. So we've got that little bit of texture, but we don't have full-blown roughness. So if you take this noise texture right here, Shift D it, place it just to the side, and then we can go colour to colour 2. So now this kind of offsets everything. So the mortar itself, we could in theory, just place this above. Sorry, 1 second, just adjusting this. So if we take this noise texture right here, Shift D it, place this underneath, and then we place this colour to the mortar. So we should have something like this. We can then scale up the roughness a little bit. So the mortar now has its own little bit, but if you've noticed, it doesn't look too great. This is why I don't really like messing around with the mortar, because it doesn't look great. I just wanted to show you guys that little thing, like you can't really see the mortar now, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna backtrack this. Just take this out. Let's see. So yeah, you could have something like this. To be honest with you, I think I'm just gonna have the tiles. I just wanted to show you guys that that's one option that you can have, but it just doesn't look too great. This is the reason why in the bathroom project I just did every single tile as an individual tile rather than mapping it on there or using the nodes and stuff like that. So that's an option that you can have. So as regards to the plants, right here, if we go for the leaves, we can go new. Just call this as leaf material. So for this one it should be green. We could add, actually, noise. Oh, we could go with Veroni. Let me think. I would say we can go with noise texture for this one. So we can go colour, base colour. So if we go to the leaves themselves, what you're going to get with this, you notice how it's all rainbowy? So what we can get with this is we can actually get different shades onto the leaves themselves. So it's not just a solid green, it's a variety of different shades of green. So it breaks the tree apart a little bit. It's not just solid, it's got detail, you know what I mean? So if we go to add, we go to the colour ramp. You'll notice that everything's black and white right now, so we can go with let's go with the green. So if we improve the black a little bit, you can see that certain parts have shade, and if we improve the white, we can see that certain parts now have a little bit lightness to them. So I'm just going to reduce that light and allow that shade in there. We can go subsurface. We can just improve this just slightly. So this is going to help catch some of the light. We can go to specular. The IOR as well, we can reduce that just slightly. So now we've kind of got a little bit of glow from the leaves. I'm just going to go ahead and just maybe play around with this a little bit. No, I like it the opposite way. Yeah, so we're going to go with that. And then we can do the stem of the tree, which is right here. We can go new. And we can make this brown. And what we can do with this is we can go add, and we can go noise. You notice that I use a lot of noise texture. I just find it's a lot better to work with. And then we want to add bump. So we've got that nice little knot on the wood. Scale that upwards a little bit. And then we can add the colour ramp. Then add the brown. So now we've got a nice little pattern going on. We can turn up the metallic a little bit, turn down the roughness. On the leaves themselves, I would turn down the roughness and turn up the metallic just slightly. So we've got that little bit of reflection, but we also have that dullness, and we also have that kind of almost oily look, would you say, for leaves. So now we have this kind of nice little bush. You could edit this in any way that you wanted to. So these trees in the background, you notice that the colours haven't changed. So we go to this drop down menu right here. There's a reason why I name things, so we can go leaf. Then we can click the stem of the tree right here. And we can go, I don't think I named this one, but we can go material 04. I believe that's the tree material that we used for this one. Hold on. When it allows me. Yeah. So we can go tree, bark with this one. So with these pots themselves, depending on who's making this place, whether it's a greenhouse, conservatory, or just kind of a walkthrough kind of thing, we can do kind of a gold kind of colour, like an offset kind of goldy colour, I guess, if you're really posh with that. But I think that we'll leave it like that. Maybe a little bit metallic. Okay, so name this one as plant pot. We take this texture right here. Oh my gosh, I'm ghosting. All I'm seeing is like I'm writing something, and then like 2 seconds later it's going straight across my screen. So we'll take this one. We're gonna go with plant pot. We'll take this one, and then we're gonna go with plant pot for this one. We'll take the leaves right here. Leaf, and then if we can get the tree, there we go, we've got the tree, and then we want to go with tree bark. So those are generally your plants, stuff like that. So the next thing that we want is to maybe change some of the colours that are on here. So we want to go for a wood colour, and for this wood colour, maybe we'll do some bump nodes, maybe not. So I'm just going to go with, so this is currently on slate. So anything that's slate is supposed to be part of the window ledge. So we want to change absolutely everything that is not slate. So for this one in particular, we want to go for a new colour right here. So we're going to just press this one. And we'll change this to window frame. Once we've done with the window frame, we're just going to go ahead and change this from grey, come on, to kind of a brown. And that should change to a brown. If you've noticed right there, there's a little bit of difference. Maybe we'll add, I'm thinking noise, just for the time being. We can change this later if we'd like to. Scale this in, colour ramp, just in the middle there, press plus, and then we change this to a brown. Or you can keep it like that if you'd like. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add a bump texture just in here. Colour and then to height. I'm just going to go to regular mode for one moment so I can just show you. So now we have this kind of nice little wood texture going on here. So we want this wood texture to be on every other one. So we've got wood frame. Click this one. Go wood frame. This one. Wood frame. It might take you a while to finish this, but we'll go wood frame. And then we will add some stuff in. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill all this in so that you guys aren't bored watching me fill in wood frame for practically eternity. And the magic of video editing, we will come back. Okay, so we're back. This is where I've put all of the stuff for these slats on the side for the windows. There's still a few of them that I'm still just doing because I clicked the wrong ones. I'm just going to do a little check to make sure that I got all these. So, yeah, you're going to want to do this little bit of a beam right here. So, window frame for everything just within here. So, you notice as well, there's kind of these little gaps that are going on in between. I personally would take this and just place it at the side right here, so we've got a little bit of a barrier, and then just shift D it going across onto this side, and then we can take this shift D again and just bring it over to the opposite side where this window sits. And we're just going to go, because we've already got this pillar right here, I'm just going to go ahead, put this right here, and then I'm just going to press G and just bring this across, because we already have this on this side. There's not much point in duplicating that bit. So take this part right here, a window frame. So now you should have something like this. To be honest with you, that part isn't sitting correctly, so I'm just going to go ahead and amend that. So we should have it just right about there. Okay, so at this point we've got these pillars that we have to make something for. So if we just press duplicate right there and we just put pillar. We could change these to a black if you wanted to, or we could go with kind of like a dark brown just to offset it from the window a little bit. Just right there. Let's go with, oh, I didn't name that one. Or did I? Pillar. Should be pillar. There we go. Right, so this pillar and this pillar. You could also add some tones to this as well, but to be honest with you, it kind of looks nice the way that it kind of looks printed or painted even, just up at the sides. So it's kind of got this uniform to it. For the pillar, you can actually go with a noise texture just to give it some depth, some material. Add a little bit of a bump. I know that was counterproductive to add the colour to the material there, but I just wanted to test it out really. So we're going to go colour ramp, place this in the middle right here, and then we can go with brown. So when we do this, we can move up the brown. We can also scale this up just a little bit to give it some more texture. It actually makes it lighter if you add more texture, darker if you add less. So we could do it like this. We could distort it a little bit. Just give it that little bit of difference between the window frames and the sides right here. I'm just going to go ahead actually and put some more brown in that. And maybe scale it down just slightly. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so the next part we want to look at is the roof. So the roof right here, we see that we've got all these different pieces. To be honest with you, I think we could probably get away with window frame. Actually, no. I'm going to make a new material for this, actually, I think. Let me try something else. Let's see what we have. So we got tree bark. Tree bark actually looks really good. Yeah, I think we'll go with tree bark just up at the top right here. I think that would work. Maybe a bit too shiny. Yeah, come on, let's make a new texture. Let's get rid of that. Let's go new, and we'll go for roof. Maybe we could make this kind of very light and open. So we could go with a white if you wanted to, or we could just go for kind of this kind of offset cream. Let's see. I'm going to change all these to the same material. So we've got for this one roof. Let me see. Roof again. Roof again. And then we've got roof again. Oops. Oops. No, we don't have roof again. Of course, if you've got a different material style in mind, like, feel free just to put yours on, because, you know, your project isn't mine and my project isn't yours kind of thing. Well, although we're making the same thing if you're following along, you know, it's totally up to you how you do things. Let's see. Pull this in just here. Okay, so now we've kind of got this nice little greenhouse going on. We could add a little bit of more plantage in here. I could put a little bit of more of a frame around this door right here. In fact, I'm going to take one of these pillars. I'm going to go with Shift D, G at the top right here. I'm just going to very carefully make a door frame just around the outside right here, so we can go with G, scale it downwards just a little bit. Just pull this down, scale it up just a little bit right there, just make sure that it's sat in the correct position that it needs to be. So I'm just going to press G, bring this back, bring it down just a little bit. Shift D across. We're going to go Shift D again, and then we're going to rotate this by 90. And then scale it in. Press G again, bring it up. And then we've got this kind of nice thick door frame going on. So, for the outside of this piece, we want to make some grass, we want to put some plants outside, maybe some big trees. Stuff like that. I'm going to change these little bits right here, and we'll go with wall 2, and I'm just going to go ahead and make these white so it's a little bit open. Go wall 2. Where's wall 2? There we go. So now we've got this nice little slate going on. We've got this nice little kind of conservatory greenhouse thing that we've just made, and this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to take the sun on this and make it a little bit brighter as well. Oh, where's my sun at? Probably right at the bottom of the listings. There we go, my sun. We're going to go ahead and just improve the strength on this just a little bit. So this background's quite grey. What I'm going to do, go to object mode, go to world, and this is what the background for the world looks like. So what we're going to do, we will go to add, and we're going to go noise texture. So within this, the noise texture in the background, I'm going to have to do this in the render mode. So what we're going to do, we're going to scale it up, we're going to make it look like there's some clouds. So what you're going to want to do to set this up is add the colour ramp, place this right in the middle right here, and we're going to go with blue, just for the side. If you go to the rendered version, we just start seeing this, where we've got some nice little puffy clouds in the background. And it's got this nice little bright skyline right there. So if we go back to the sun, come on. Just gonna go ahead and put it on the random one, objects. So if we go to the sun, hopefully, we can now get a nice little orange kind of tone from there. Hopefully should look better. Maybe improve the strength just a little bit. When it finally responds. Just gonna go ahead and improve that just manually. So now we've got this nice little bright green house. I think it's a little bit too much, especially for the lighting. So, I think we can start making some grass, some trees in the background and stuff. So we'll go back onto the regular tab. Come on. I kind of want to make these windows a bit Veroni'd. So the windows right here, when we see them, they're kind of very, they're very neat. They don't really have any stains to them or anything like that. So what we can do with this is we can actually go to add. Come on. Ah, here we go. Right, I'm running out of RAM space here. So, texture on the windows. So we're going to go Veroni. Veroni, oh, no. We want Veroni. Veroni texture. Here we go. So we take the colour and we'll place it into the roughness on the windows. And you notice that all this kind of pops up everywhere. So what we can do is we can make this a little bit frosted if we wanted to. We could take it outwards a little bit all the way, and we could kind of make this kind of scratches on the glass or some gleams on the glass. So what we do, we go to bump, place the bump right here. We can go colour to height, and we should have these little almost insignificant little lines going across it, but it looks like there's a bit of tree outside or a tree inside, and it's scraped up against the glass. So you could scale this up just slightly if you wanted to, but you'll have like little shines there now with stuff. So you can actually improve the alpha on this just a little bit. I'll take it back wherever you need it to be. So now you'll have a little bit of texture on the glass. You'll be able to hopefully see some of that in the final product that you have. So let's just place this right here and we'll see what happens. As in regards to that, it might take a while to load in, but you can see just little imperfections in the glass just here, just coming up here, bit around here. I think I can just about see one just here. So the glass isn't perfect. So if that turns, we look at it from the inside as well. We've kind of got this blue sky going on. So what we're going to want in the background and what we're going to want around the edges is a few details, so this looks a little bit more realistic. So go to add, go to plane. Just going to scale this up. Press G, bring it across just to here. I think what we'll do actually, we'll press G, press 7, G across to here, scale it outwards, go on to the edit mode, and we're just going to cut just around the outside of the building, just here. Take these two faces right here, and we're going to go E for extrude, bring them across, and just place them right here. So this plane right here is going to be grass. So if we take this shade smooth, we'll go to the modifiers, oh sorry, not the modifiers, the particles I believe it is. Press plus, go to hair, and you'll notice that you get all these little hairs that are going on the outside right here. So you can adjust these, I usually go with 100,000. And they differ in size, and then you can take them down to 1 meter, 2 meter, how many other meters you'd like. Just reduce this a little bit. I'm going to go to materials and just change this to, let's have leaf kind of texture, so there's different variants. Going to go back to my particle system, and I'm just going to add a few more zeros to this, just to make some more blades, and maybe make them just a little bit longer as well. Oh my gosh, we're not responding. This is what I'm meaning. So now we have this little texture. So you're not going to see this unless you're making a game or something and your character walks outside. You're not going to see it. So you're just going to see it through these windows, and we're also going to use some depth of field as well, so it will blur out some of this. Right, the next thing that we're going to need to do is put some trees in the background. So we're going to go to, let's go with curve, sampling tree generation. We want, let's see, what do we want? I'm just going to go ahead to the geometry section for 1 second. Oh, when it lets me. It's beautiful. Yeah, load present, maybe we'll go with some pines. Yay. Okay. So, add your leaves to your pines. Come on, Blender, you can do it. I believe in you. Come on. I think I'm running out of RAM space here, I'm going to be honest with you. Show leaves. This is fun. Right. So we're not even on rendered mode. Look at this. We're not even there yet. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay. So take these two. Press G. Bring them to the back. We're just going to scale them up so that we've got some nice trees going on in the background. So what you want to do with this primarily is you just want to fill all this blank space that you've got. Just to kind of make a little border, a little fence, whatever like that. I mean, you can make a fence if you wanted to in the background. This is your project, so whatever you want to do. Oh, that's really weird. It's coming through the wall. Why is it coming through the wall? It's coming through the wall right here, but yet it's here. What? Why? Oh, it's the depth. It's the depth. Ignore me. It's the depth. So if the depth is doing this to you, go to camera settings right here, and you just want to extrude with the end a little bit. It's just the meters. I don't know why it's there, but apparently you can, like, your camera can only see so far in your scene. So if you want to get these trees, just put them at the back here. I would recommend, before you're duplicating them, take these leaves right here, go to materials, go to green material, and then you've got your wood. Let me see, where is it? We made one. What did I call it? I forget. Yeah, let's go tree bark. We'll go tree bark again. Take this, duplicate it over. As I said with the rest of them, rotate them, scale them down, so there's no pattern going on. You could take these two and you could just duplicate them over, just at the back there. Take all four, so they're all at different angles, and then you could duplicate these and you can press G, you can bring them down a little bit. Just duplicate these across, duplicate across, maybe make these a little bit bigger. Press G, bring them forward a little bit. Totally depends on what you want to do with your project. So now we can see that we've kind of got this little forest going on in the background. From this point, we could actually take these, make some shadows. So Shift D, preferably don't select your sun twice. I'll get rid of that in a moment. Put these here just so it's got some reflection. Also, you're going to want some reflection on this side. So we'll go Shift D, just move that across to that side. So now, if there's any reflection on there, we can see that there's trees. So I'm just going to get rid of these suns that I've got in the wrong place. So, got that one, which is the original. That one shouldn't exist. Right, we should have this. It's looking a bit Minecrafty to me. I think there's something missing that needs to be placed in there. But to be honest with you, because my RAM is currently running out of space, I don't think that I would be able to continue anymore doing anything else with this project, to be honest with you. I do need to change that little bit right there because we've got a hole right here that needs to change. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. So I think we take this one, press G, bring it forward. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna send the project soon. This is it's been great doing this project for you guys. I would absolutely love to add more to this project, but I just think that right now my computer's just not playing ball at all. At least the program's not closed down on me. That's a positive. But let's not put that out there. Let's not jinx ourselves. Come on. Come on, Blender, you can do it. Oh, do we have life? Hello out there? Nope, okay. Oh, where did it go? Where did my grass go? Bring back my grass. I think that's it. I think that's our tutorial today. I'm sorry. Like, this is my grass has disappeared. I'm pretty annoyed about that. Right, I'm gonna end the tutorial, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. We were so close to finishing this as well. Yeah. Bye. I guess.